Oh, looking better. Oh, we got action. Alright, I guess apparently that version of mods is causing some issues. Alright, so anyways. Top tier, pretty similar comps. No RD is good. I like my tank cards because it allows me to look over the tanks really quickly and get a feel for what the comps are like. Alright, so this is Encounter. So especially in a top tier Rhoomba, you can really go either way. I would probably start shading off to this west and see, both of the teams have a lot of tank destroyers, and that tends to be pretty campy. But like if you're going to shade west, you should start right about here, and then like generally what you're looking to do is you're looking to see if any of your guys are going to go light up through the middle, because you can potentially get shots up there as well. And you might as well, like a lot of times when I'm driving someplace, I'll already turn my turret this way so that I can be ready if something does get lit. That way you don't have to wait for your slow ass turret to turn. It also looks like you're running the 15cm gun on this, which I don't necessarily recommend, but that is what people like. I think the 15cm gun is good if you're going to play a brawling Rhoomba. Not so much if you're going to play a sniping Rhoomba. And unfortunately the platform for the Rhoomba is much better at sniping than it is at brawling. You didn't need to go quite up through that back like that, but this bush right here is generally pretty good. But anywhere in this area over here is fine. You don't want to move up too far forward because you can get overexposed pretty easily. In this particular case, there's no arty, so it's not that big of a deal. But so what you're looking to do again is get shots on these guys as they come through that middle, or get shots on things that get lit back up here. But there's nothing gonna get lit back up here as of right this instant. But like this guy will come down through that church area. Well, they may or may not get lit there. You're not in a very good position. Oh, you got him. And when you do run the 15cm, you might as well aim in all the way, because misses with this gun are really costly. I'm guessing you did get lit. Oh, maybe you didn't. It was the T40 that got lit. I wasn't paying attention. So you do have your duders over here. They haven't really spotted around this side. Where that JT is at, you're not really going to get super great shots on him. Unless he pushes, like, actually up to that lighthouse area. Oh no! Your heavy tanks ran into a Cheeto. Game over. The push has stopped. He'll be back. He'll be back. Just wait for. Oh no! Okay. So the rule, always, when you're sniping with a really crappy sniping gun, and again, this is why I don't like playing this gun with this tank, because you're trying to make the crappy sniping gun into a sniping gun. Now, if you have the 12.8, you can hit these shots all day long, right? Because that sort of ties in with the way that the tank should be played. Now, if you're gonna play a crappy sniping gun, you gotta aim in all the way. It sucks, but the misses are just far too costly. You're gonna miss a lot even when you aim all the way in. So just go ahead and take your time. Make sure you get that good shot. And then again, also, so when you're aiming on these guys with the crappy sniping gun, you have to pre-aim. So like, you don't want to trace this guy. Just go ahead and aim right here and wait. Like that, you're gonna do a lot of that. Oh man, you're never gonna get that shot, and that's not gonna be a good shot for you. Like, you're better off protecting this side. Let's see this T29 that's crossing through right here. You got him. He's gonna light you, but you got him. Uh-oh. Totally not worth. But it's fine. They have cap pressure on because the Cheeto is the scariest tank in the game. You still need to hold this lane though. When there's no arty, it's actually pretty easy to hold it. You don't want to just bail off of it because this AT8 is basically going to be by himself. Not a fantastic tank for it. And again, these things are always much easier when they don't have artillery. You should be able to get shots on all of these guys. No, don't worry about him. Yeah, that guy. No, keep going. Just so all you have to do is just drive out here, right? You haven't lost this area quite yet. So he'll come back. He'll come back. He'll come back. Just, oh, aim, my man. Aim. Okay, so again, when you're playing with the crappy sniping gun, you don't want to leave it up to RNG. The RNG is already going to bone you enough. You don't want to take those chances. So, you know, if he's going to roll back into you, let him roll back into you. Just pre-aim into that area. Now it's starting to be dangerous. Now you don't want to be starting to hang out on this side because these guys are going to start to become getting into a position where they can kill you. Number 1 Cheeto NA. I don't think you'll have a shot at this guy. Oh, you do. Oh, okay. I see where he is. I thought he was somewhere. Run, my man, run! Let's go ahead and aim. Oh, you could have aimed that a little more. Oh, look at that armor. Look at the Rhoomba limping away. You're gonna need a little bit of love in here. Aim for the cheek. Take your time. Just take a shot. Take your time. Take your time. Oh, look at that aim. Oh, look at that patience. Even waited for him to turn a little bit. See, that was perfect. Like, you didn't panic. Push the JP. Push the JT88. Because you don't want to allow those guys to catch up to you. You just want to push. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh! Okay, that one I'm okay with you taking that snapshot simply because he was going to start turning out there. And you needed to get out, moving along that away from that side anyways. Take your time. Take your time. Take your time. Take your time. Okay, now you can. Excellent. That's what we like to see. And then now, take your time. Take your time. Take your time. No, fall back. Just fall back. Let him come to you if he wants to come to you. Take your time. Wait for him to come all the way over. Go ahead and aim in. There you go. Oh, the misses are, I'm sorry, the low rolls are real. Oh, I don't know why he decided to charge you there. Don't ram him. Don't let him ram you. Don't let him back up into you. Don't let him back up. Even going uphill backwards, he can potentially kill you. Oh, it's very well done. Okay, so let's review this. One, you did get fed there nicely at the end, but that's fine. That'll happen. There's no hating on that. So again, in that early game, especially when you're playing with the 15 centimeter, like, you know what gun you put on that tank. So like when you're shooting at these guys, like, you have to be patient when you're shooting at like 300 meters or more, right? And 200 meters or more, really. And a lot of those times where in the early game where you snapshot, you really didn't need to. And a lot of times you need, your player predict should be a little bit better. Like, you should have known that challenger was going to roll back, right? He was going to poke up, try to get a shot, and then roll back. And there was another situation like that, but someplace else, but I can't recall exactly where. So a lot of the playing with crappy sniping guns is doing a lot of that pre-aiming early. But from about the halfway point on, I felt like you aimed well. So I don't really have a problem with that. GG. I'm happy you won. And again, I you know, not because I'm hating or anything like that, just to point out, you did get fed at the end there, one at a time. A lot of panic shots by the enemy. You didn't get the roll you wanted for the JT88, but he just kept trundling along. All right. Okay, so if we look at the stats, oh wait a minute, where are my stats? Oh man. And a large part of your team's problem was that they were afraid of that Cheeto, which is somewhat inexplicable, but it'll happen. Yeah. GG. I'm glad you won. Got a little bit of RNG love on your side, but again, like I said, sometimes that's what you need. All right. Alright, and the next one will be SpaceAce's Type 64. Sorry, Pompous. Well, the team that plays scared will tend to get whittled down like that. Oh man, starting out as a blue player. Alright, well, I mean, at least this is a good map for, oops. There we go. Click to 128. Oh man, I can't, oh, that's right, because I'm in the stock, UI. I can't zoom the minimap. So anyways, you can play up through this long 3-line early to spot, particularly since both teams have a heavy tank destroyer comp, but like none of these are going to be particular challenges for you. And it's a good way to get intel. You can also do this sweep over here. You'll see a lot of puppies do that. I don't find that that's necessarily as informative because the game really isn't won or lost on this side, particularly on encounter mode. But let's see what you're doing. Looks like you're going towards the middle, which is it's theoretically good. It looks like you're going towards the campy hill, which is maybe not so good. Let's see what you do. You can theoretically ride this ridge up here and then duck down when you get lit, but I find it better to keep the element of surprise and scout out what's coming through this area here, because ultimately that's really what's going to be the threat to your team. It's not that Chaffee that's there. It's not these guys that camp back here. Like those aren't the big threats. Like what your team needs to know is what are they sending out here towards this side, especially since you see how you have most of your team coming this way, which is fantastic. It's not something that you actually see a whole lot. But you want to be able to tell these guys on the south here, what they're going to be up against. And then, especially when you've got the light tank trying to snipe from behind you, you got to be careful about that because he can get you shot. If not by these guys, by Artie. So you all, whenever that happens, whenever this happens, when I'm you and I'm unlit and this guy's getting shot by everybody to get shots on God knows what, you want to move away from this guy because this guy's dangerous. He's not dangerous to their team. He's dangerous to you. Low. Oh no, it's rocks, the biggest foe. And then again, you don't want to come over high, especially when you're lit, because you can get shot from over there. If you come around low, again, you come up through over here, you can spot into the back without them seeing you. Oh man. I don't know why you decided to drive in front of that guy, but alright. Yeah, it looks like most of their guys are in the back, so you need to be able to spot them. Your team's going to struggle, right? And so this is the thing about we talk about this in Redshire a lot, that there's a lot of one-line, three-line synergy, so that if the one line moves up the same distance as the three line gets shots on the things at the one line spots, and the one line gets shots on the things at the three line spots. That's why there's synergy between those 2 points. And so you want to be able to light that area when you can. And if duders are going to sit out there, then duders must be shot. I'm okay with that. But again, like, see where this OI experimental is? Like, if you light these guys, this OI experimental, if he's paying attention, of course, you can actually shoot those guys. And you do have to be careful coming around through this side, but you do want to sort of start figuring out where their team is at. Shoot him in the face! The thing about the Type 64 is that it does not have much alpha, but it actually has a pretty decent gun on it, all things considered. It's just the only problem with it is it has like 500 health, or how much is it? 580. Yeah, that was probably an unnecessary loop that you ran there. And again, you're making the classic error of thinking that the spawn is important. The spawn in an encounter game, completely irrelevant. If they win your spawn, eh. Your arty has also made such a mistake. You can just let that guy hang out back there. He's not really going to be that much of a threat. Or you can go pursue. Again, I always find it much more informative to tell your team where the enemy is. I don't think it's going to be necessarily worthwhile to pursue this guy. Again, like if he was breaking the back of your team, that would be one thing, but it's like your guys up here are the guys that actually need help. Oh, look at that. Tracking on the move. And again, you still can play through either, actually now that this guy was finally lit, you should play through over on this side. So come over towards this hill over here, because you want to light these guys in the back and also potentially get shots on these guys in the front. You don't want to get close right now. You want to be far right now. Being close will not really help you that much. And you'd rather shoot the tiger than those other guys right now. Now, you need to put pressure on these guys right here, because these guys, this is the guy that's killing you right now. Like these guys that are camped in the back, they're not the guys that are really hurting you. Oh man. Sniped by the GW Panther. And then now you don't have enough health to challenge those guys that you need to challenge. You do need to be in a position to support. You keep driving backwards a little bit too much here. I'm not entirely sure what shot you think you're going to get. The opportunity for you to shoot these guys through this window is already passed. Now you might as well just wait and kill the stirrer. And then if you sit up right here, you can shoot down this lane. So all you gotta do is go right here. You can sit by this house. You can sit on this other side of the house. You're driving a little bit too far away. Right? You can shoot this tiger right now. You can shoot him right now. And there's nothing that he can do. Nothing that he can do. Yeesh. Again, I don't think that arty's the most important play here. Oh, and you definitely don't want to drive straight at him. Oh man. And again, so you can play this ridge to spot them if they're still in there. Again, you would have rather have whittled them down a little bit, because that would have made your life much easier. You're getting a little bit too close. You don't quite need to be so close. Oh, and you need to aim that all the way in. Especially when they're blind. Oh, not the roll you wanted. No, just go. No, move, move. Just, yeah, go over the side a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Alright. And then you can see if he's in the other spine by basically coming in through here by this side of this house. Because he might have hopped back. You can also just get close to him just to proxy. You have plenty of time, so you don't need to necessarily push him right off the bat. Oh, looks like he's right there by that IKV, would be my guess. So then now you can just come in low through this side. No, you don't want to come in through this side again. You want to go, there's more shelter for you coming in through this side. And you know where he's at, right? He's on the cap. He's got to be on the cap circle. So most likely he shifted over to this side, right? But you don't need to push him. All you need to do is figure out where he's at. And then once you figure out where he's at, then you can worry about the rest. No, don't go back. Don't do it. Oh, look. Like if he's set for the shot there and you're not, that's his advantage. Oh. Not entirely sure, but you should have been able to get that shot. I think you took your eyes off the prize there. For some reason, you weren't aware of him actually being able to push over. And again, remember, he's not in a very nimble tank. He can't turn that well. So all you needed to do was be in an area where you could move laterally. But them's the breaks. Okay, so anyways, so where you went, again, I don't really find super productive. Your team didn't find it very super productive, and particularly when there's somebody in any tank sitting next to you while you're spotting the enemy, literally sitting next to you and drawing fire like that. Like, you don't want to be anywhere near that guy, right? That guy is toxic, toxic, toxic to you, because you will get damaged because of him, and so you need to move away from him. Again, I always find it much better to spot these guys going across the back. I think your team went the right direction. I thought that they played it reasonably well, but they didn't really have enough lights and weren't able to deal enough damage back here. Their team played it pretty poorly, but you guys just weren't able to pull it out. And then particularly in the late game, I don't really think it was necessary to chase down that light tank per se. I think it would have been much better if you had helped keep these guys like that tiger from pushing in and whatnot. And I think that if you had kept your guys alive over there, because they were YOLOing in after your cap, you just really didn't have enough people there to actually try to stop them, and that ended up being a pretty significant problem. It also got you shot by the GW Panther as well. Alright, so if you look at stats, not too bad. Both teams did about the same. We shot pretty well. The Type 64 gun is not very, it's not like the Type 64 gun is a super awesome gun, but you gotta make do with what you got. And again, remember, like all of these light tanks in general, the guns aren't really the best feature of them. It's really the mobility and the vision control. GG though, nice try. Alright, and next we're looking at Sebados in his Leopard PTA on some map. Some map looks like Fishing Bay. Alrighty. Let's see. Slightly heavier comp just because of the Type 4s, but a lot of that depends on what they do. They can potentially bully in the city, and they can potentially die horribly. There's no arty, so that's always to their advantage. I always feel like the South has a better building layout through the middle, so particularly when there's no arty, it's pretty easy to play the South. You basically want to hang out in this area right here, close to this house, and you can get a lot of shots both on their team, and if they, as soon as they abandon the middle, you can get shots on the sort of flanks. But let's see what your team does. Does not look like your RU is going to spot. Looks like he's going to do that. Oh no, wait a minute, he's coming over. Maybe he will. And then so if he actually does the spawning run, what you want to do is you want to get set up right about here. There's like a little hill over here. Right about right here. Stop. Like maybe like another 10 meters forward here. Particularly when there's no arty, you can sit out in the open, and then if he spots things, you're going to get shots through right here, or if they get past you, you can move up here and then shoot down at them. That is a thing as well. Oh, don't go back to the well, are you? Don't go back to the well. Yeah, I would be careful because, you know, things can shoot at you too. So looks like they have their 5120 IS-6 in town, which is fine. Not that big of a deal. One of your Type 4s is going down there. Oh, you can totally hit that shot. I would have waited. Like, if you wait another second or so, then the IS-6 will be behind the so you were shooting at the little tip of the turret of the 5120. Wait until the IS-6 is behind it. That way, if you miss the turret, you're still gonna hit the IS-6. But if you hit the 5120, then perfect. And again, so what you're looking to do now is actually to look them off of the middle, because once they get looked off of the middle, you can get shots into this area where these guys are at pretty easily. But again, remember those shots go both ways. So like that 5120 is trying to shoot back up at you. Sometimes when you stare into the abyss, yada yada yada. And again, you need to punish these guys in the middle a little bit to back them off. Otherwise, they're going to constantly be whittling your team down. So it's not, right now you can't get a whole lot of shots into the town, but you need to look off these guys in the middle. Once you look off these guys in the middle, then you get all sorts of shots into town. Yeah, look at that rev. Punish him. Like you gotta break some eggs to make some omelets here. Like if you're not able to dominate this middle in a top tier tank, then you shouldn't be here. Right, you gotta go someplace where you're gonna be doing stuff. And again, shooting those guys that are in the back, not totally helpful. That's good. Punishing these guys in the middle is what's gonna make them back off. And then once they back off, then you can own everybody on the flanks. Like that T-95. So keep moving up, get shots on this rev, get shots into this area, be active here. You need to be active here. Okay, when you're lit, you can back off a little bit. Not quite as much as you're backing off. Again, there's no arty, but you need to be punishing a little bit more in the middle here. I think Mr. FCM has had enough already. No, you don't want to go down here yet. Like, down here is not going to be a good well for you. Like, you're not going to get a whole lot out of this. Like, this is not what you want. Again, you will get, this is the thing about controlling the middle. Once you control the middle, you get all sorts of shots on there. But you need to control the middle. You need to exert your top tier force. You need to punish. And you're not even trying. And that's a pretty significant limitation right now. Just being a little bit too passive here, right? Move forward. If they're not there, you get free shots there. If they are there, you need to punish. But right now, you're just doing a little bit too much driving around, which is not getting anything done. Just go. You need to start punishing from this middle. No. All right. You can theoretically YOLO this guy, but again, it's much easier to shoot them in the side from a distance. But it looks like your team be going. It's not gonna end up well. Oh, look. And again, the reason why this doesn't work out well is because when they are still allowed to be in the middle, then they can shoot you. No, you should have secured the kill on the T-95 because you never know how long it's gonna take for your team to do it. And again, this guy you don't necessarily need to push, but it's fine. I got no problems with this per se, other than the fact that you're slowly losing that other side. You don't need to push him like that. You could have just sat in the back because you didn't need to take this shot. Oh, that shot hurt. He shot HE. He knew you were coming. Okay, and now what you need to do is you need to re-secure the middle. The middle is critical to this map. I don't really feel like you needed to drive in there to get the damage that you did. I felt that if you had just controlled the middle, you could have killed the T-95 from up here. But again, as I said many times, every single time we play Fisherman's Bay, it is very easy to get shots down there once you control this center road. It is just simply a matter of controlling said center road. Whoever controls the road wins the game, most of the time. Alright, and so now see how all of your guys are in the middle road? You actually need one person out. This Indian being out here is good. You need somebody that can spot this side. It can be you. Again, remember, they have no artillery. So you're just worried about direct fire. You are not in a position to spot anything. Move up over here to this side of the building, and you can actually spot out into the field if they try to cross through over there. You can also spot if they try to move up through here. You're doing a little bit too much camping again. Like you can't spot them. Like if they come into the cap, you won't know until they set off the cap. Like you just won't know. So this is not a good spot. Although somebody spotted him. I don't think that was you. Okay, well, I'll take it. Lol, oh ho. Driving off to his death. And again, it is very easy for you to just be on this side of the house so that you can see out there those guys coming around. Like that guy, for example. See how easy that was? You could have known that guy was coming the entire time. So they have the FCM on that side, which is fine. You don't need to push onto that side of the road. You're not going to get very good shots of the Emil, because he's going to be basically hauled down to you, and there's not a whole lot that you can do about that. Your best bet is actually to probably push out through around over here, because presumably their campers are still going to be camping. You're not going to be able to take an Emil in your PTA. It looks like you're planning on going towards the A line, which, again, they're far enough back that you can't push up far enough on the A line to make yourself relevant, unless they, try to make a push forward. Again, this happens a lot in maps where the maps rotate. The map started out as a north-south map, and the map has now rotated. The map is now an east-west map, right? So it's about understanding where you can go to get the shots that you want. And I don't feel like going out here is going to be very productive, especially given that your RU is being charged by the Emil right now. You'd be better off playing through that middle. You're also not going to spot a whole lot from this particular spot. You need to be up a little bit closer towards where that Indian corpse is. And again, you just no, you don't want to drive out here like this. Although apparently, oh, it didn't work. So again, if you just drive up through that bush, that guy doesn't spot you. Use the bushes, my man. Use the bushes. That's why they're there. You're not using the bushes. You do this thing where you kind of wait for your team to do a little bit too much when you are in a better position to do something in any given time. Like, you could have controlled that middle earlier a lot better. I don't think that this is a very good idea. Again, so for a couple of reasons. One, they're not really pressuring you in the middle. Two, you know that they have guys camped back there. Three, you know that they have one Emil down over there. So if you have to choose whether you want to push into a bunch of people camping or into one Emil out in the open, you'd probably rather take the Emil. Is my general line of thinking. So unfortunately, what's going to probably happen is your Type 4 is going to bleed out as he pushes forward here. But there's not going to be a whole lot that you can do. I mean, again, even if you get shots on these snipers back here, these snipers back here aren't really the guys that are hurting your team. Alright, we're going to have to increase the speed of this replay because this is getting a little dry. And remember, you can just drive up there, like up onto the ledge, and then shoot, and then come back. Oh man, the misses are real. Oh, the camping is real. Oh, the misses. What kind of German accuracy is this? Oh, look how many guys are camping back there. Again, man, that's so... Yeah, your Type 4 is gonna bleed out. And this is not a very good position still, but... Oh, aim that all the way in, my man. I think the Emil 2 was trying to get a pot shot on you. That was a good shot. Unfortunately, your type did bleed out. And again, I don't really feel like pushing through this area is very good, especially given that you know exactly where they are. If you do it though, you don't want to come over the top like this, you want to go underneath, because you can get yourself trapped over here pretty easily. And then it's just counter YOLO for the win. Oh, the rush is real. Lol. You can take a shot from the Panther 88. Just push him. Push him. Push him. Oh, he's on that side. And yeah, you could theoretically get there in time. Yeah, I don't know. It felt like you would have been better off going and killing them in the south than trying to break that camp on the north. Oh, the rush! The other guy ran out to the other side. Looks like he did. Oh, Panther 88 got away. They say it. Oh, not gonna be able to get him in time. Oh, dang it! I didn't stop the thing fast enough. Anyway, I don't think that you necessarily played that like super poorly. The problem that you have there was all of that wasted time in the middle, and then again that decision to go north, which isn't necessarily bad. You know, when you went to the A line after your Indian died, that's not necessarily bad per se. Just go there just to check it out. But once you confirm what you already thought, which is, hey, they're camping, just go ahead and leave and attack into the easier area. It was going to be much easier to kill the Emil than anything else. But yeah, I think the biggest problem was that you didn't really exert yourself in the middle there, right? They had an FCM there and they had like an FE4202. Like these tanks cannot compete with you. You're a whole tier higher than them. You have a much better gun with them. Even if you're trading 1 for 1, you should be able to be able to punish them. And there wasn't quite enough punishment there. Because again, once you punish them, and again, you don't need to necessarily kill them. Once you just punish them, once you demoralize them, they will leave. Once they leave, you destroy the rest of their team from that position. And that's the importance of controlling that middle, particularly if your team or if either team is pushing through the town. So that's always something to keep in mind. Alright, so if you look at the stats, both teams did about the same. Not great, not horrible. You did pretty well overall in terms of your shooting. Let down by the sniping of that German accuracy, though. GG, nice try. Alrighty, it's arty time. Let's see, this is the current patch, so hang on, I gotta go back here. Can I say whose replays I have in my set? This will be the last one, but it's Moochmakers. I generally announce them before I do them, but I mean, I don't know how much that helps you guys. Or were you just like, did you do mine? Is that your question? Alrighty, so already in an Crusader SP. So one of the things about the Crusader SP is that it drives faster backwards than it does forwards, which is actually really, really good, because basically what you'll do is drive backwards. You want to get out. The first thing that you want to do is you want to get out, right? And you want to get into this area right about here. And the reason why you want to get into this area right about here is because one, it makes it really easy to shoot the noobs in the middle. But two, once you're over here, you can actually shoot down these lanes right here and these lanes right here. So it's always good to leave, especially if you have a fast arty like the Crusader SP. You never want to stay in the base, you don't want to stay in the valley.
Let's get this show on the road.
Uh-oh, I see a valley play. It's not so good. Well, you can always hope that their team pushes Valley, which I'm kind of getting the feeling is going to be the moral of this story. But again, I really find that this is not a very good place to play artillery for a number of reasons. One, because baddies go Valley, but two, because you can't really support your guys that are actually on the relevant areas of the map. You know, one of the reasons why we say that, I don't know what you're doing right now either. I'm driving in front of the Greeley. One of the reasons why we say that the town is important is because that's where you win games. Playing the field or playing the valley might be easy, but doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to win. We're also going to watch this in double speed because I get the feeling that you're that type of arty that doesn't do a lot of movement. KV, KV, you want to punish the KV a little bit just to back him off. Like the M4 is going to back off every shot no matter what. But like, yeah, there you go.
Enemy hit.
No, KV, KV, KV.
Great shot.
Like I get that. Like KV, KV. So to me, arty is a lot about, you can shoot, you can take that shot. That's about a 40% shot.
Enemy hit.
It's fine. Take out the KV. You need to get him down.
Great
And so whenever you're playing arty, you also need to be watching the other side of the map, because again, while this particular fight might be entertaining to you, it is really important that you win the game. Man, the misses are real. The player predict.
That was close.
I would shoot that KV. There you go. But yeah, so like you should be looking at the back of the church right now. Like again, a lot of these games is not really that important to win the valley. So you're really looking to win that town as much as you can. Because even once you win this valley here, it's what do you really have? You could theoretically take that shot. Again, what you should be doing is you should be maneuvering yourself. Especially once things start slowing down like this. Like you're waiting for you hit the magic shot, which okay, all right. He's outside of your range. You do need to move. Lol. I would actually drive up back through the valley. Drive through the valley. You're not gonna have an arc at that. Oh man. Oh, look at them backing off. Oh. Oh, aim in front of him. Lol. Penetrating shot. Oh man, an 88. So you do have to kill the Lorraine afterwards. It doesn't really... The 88's not going to be as much of a threat as you would think. You do need to be able to kill that Lorraine. Yeah, I don't know. It kind of feels like if you had gone town, you might have had a better chance. Again, remember, it's a really easy cap to defend as well. Again, you just as a side note, you feasted off of the fact that their guys were, I don't know why you even took that shot, but alright. It is time to charge, my man. Oh, you got 35 spotting damage. It is time to charge. The AT-8's gonna be in the back. You just gotta guess, left or right. Just guess, left or right. It's gonna be one or the other. Oh man, AT-8's coming through the base. You can just turn around, cause no, turn around towards the turn around towards your grill. If you're not gonna push this guy, just guess, right? Just guess. Oh, you got him. Oh, you got him. Now get the other guy. No, you don't need to move. He's too far away to shoot you. Just shoot him. Just shoot him, my man. Oh, just shoot him. Oh, all right. This is. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what you got planned here, but this is not a very good plan. Not entirely sure what you thought was gonna happen there. All right. So this actually isn't too bad, except for the fact that you don't have very good view range, but he is in an AT-8, so there are bushes here that you can basically just go up and then fall back and then get your shot. The thing about indirect fire is that you do not need a direct line to fire. That is why they call it indirect. This bush actually doesn't usually get you good spots unless he's actually literally right there. It's usually over on that side or towards this bush.
Ready to fire. Let's locate another target.
Oh, he's coming for it. But you got the reset. Get the relight. Get the relight. See if you tracked him. Oh, you did track him. Oh, I didn't get the second track though. And again, if he pushes you, oh, what are you doing? You kind of want him to push towards you. No, get closer to that rock. You kind of want him to push you simply because you need to get him close. And then once you get behind him, then you got him. This is not good. Let's see, who's gonna play this worse? Is he gonna drive into the drink, or are you going to? Shoot that track! Shoot that track again! I would zoom in a little bit more. This is a very precarious situation. You know you can also drive around to his back, right? Because he literally can't turn around there. Like he has to back up in order to get out of there without falling into the drink. I guess I can't argue with results, boys. Okay, so a couple of things. One, I would have just guessed on this guy, just guessed on which way he's looking and then try to come around the other side of the house, but that's fine, because you knew that you had a limited amount of time because the ATA was pushing this way. Or you could have ignored this guy entirely, literally turned around, just started shooting at the ATA, because he doesn't really know where you're at, per se, precisely anyways. He just knows that something lit him from over here, and so you can get shots back at this ATA pretty quickly. And then even once you killed him, you still could have gotten shots on the ATA, which maybe could have saved your grilly. But yeah, just something to think about. And again, I would have never played this valley area over here. You did get fed there, but again, that doesn't necessarily mean that you win the game. The game is won and lost over here, so you want to exert your influence over here, ideally speaking. Alright, so if you look at stats, oh man, neither team did spectacularly there. 26 or 35 is pretty good. I mean, the stats were a little bit padded at the end there, but not too shabby. GG, I'm glad you won. Leave the base next time. Especially in fast arty. If you're in a slow arty, alright, I'm with you. If you're in a fast arty, there's never any excuse for not leaving the base. GG's.